Hey guys, so I'm just getting ready to start on my next project. I actually just bought another property. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I flip houses. So I just got one under contract that I'm going to be closing on here in the next week or so. So I decided to better get my tool trailer ready, and I thought I would do just a kind of a quick walkthrough video. There's, you know, tool trailers are a dime a dozen. Obviously, they're out there all over the place. And I went for a long time without a trailer. And I would say if you're a contractor, you know, you're probably already set up. But if you're kind of a weekend warrior, like I used to be, if you flip houses, if you own rental properties, I would say more than just a handful of rental properties that you do a lot of work on yourself. My routine used to be that I'd pile tools inside my truck. I'd fill the back seat, I'd fill the box, I'd bring stuff to a house, you know, I'd unload stuff. Inevitably, I'd be short some tool somewhere. So then I have to make a list and get stuff the next day. And I was constantly going back and forth because I never had all the right stuff, and my truck was a disaster. And so for a while, I decided I wanted to get a trailer, but I didn't want to get a huge trailer. I just thought I could get by with something smaller than some of these great big trailers that I see guys, you know, setting up. I don't need to carry anything really long. You know, I'm not carrying rolls of carpet. On a few times I've carried kitchen cabinets in this, but I don't do that very often. You know, I don't carry drywall. I don't carry long lumber. Sometimes it would be kind of nice. But I don't do that. So I just needed something that was gonna be pretty compact, that I could park easily here next to my shop, and I can drag around with me from house to house. So I bought this. I lose track. Time goes so fast. Probably 4 or 5 years ago now or so. I bought this trailer. So this is actually a 6x10. I can't remember. I need to check. 6x10. Yep, 6x10. So this is a 6x10, and one of the keys when I was shopping for a trailer is I want to make sure that I had plenty of head height. And this has looks like that's about just over a 6 foot, like 6'2" ceiling in it. Obviously I didn't want to be ducking down in a low trailer. So 6x10, and then it's got a nose on it. I don't know if you can see that the way I have the camera set up, but it does have a V-nose on it, which adds, I don't know, I suppose it's probably like 2.5 feet, something like that. So it's not a big trailer, but it's an adequate. It does everything that I need. So first thing I had to do when I bought this thing, it was kind of wrecked. You can probably see that wrinkle there. It was jackknifed. Somebody backed it up too sharp, and there was a dent in this front. So I took the rock guard off, and I took the plywood off the inside and straightened that out. All it had was this little camper lock on it, which can't be any chintzier than that. So I added that lock, so it'll at least keep the honest people out. And here's the setup. So I guess I'll show you from the back first. Obviously it has a ramp door in the back, which works good. I wouldn't want to have, you know, barn doors for my personal approach. And it's kind of a mess in here, as you can see, but obviously, you know, one of the first things I do is pull out garbage cans. I don't always have the vacuum in here, but I usually leave it in there. I've got 3 shop vacs in here, which isn't really necessary, but I've got the one I use most often up there. This little guy down here I use mostly for sucking water out of toilets before I pull them. So it's pretty much a toilet shop vac. And this is, I don't know, I just use it sometimes if I have some really nasty stuff that I don't care about, because I've had the thing for like 25 years. But anyway, those aren't really necessary. Almost every job, I'm almost always using a miter saw and oftentimes a table saw. So a lot of times those get pulled out of here right away. So then immediately we got the floor opened up. This is a stand that my miter saw sits on. So if the saw goes out, that goes. And I actually built these shelves based on, I don't know, I'll see if I can find a link. There's a guy on YouTube who is he's a professional contractor, and he has a big trailer. He's got shelves on both sides and has it all decked out. And I used his system to build this thing, and it worked out really well. So it's all 3/4 inch plywood frame. All the drawers are 1/2 inch. As you can see, they're slotted here. So you can't get any simpler than that. You can pull them out if you need to, but they stay in place really well. I mean, I live on a rough, bumpy gravel road, and sometimes, you know, I'll see a little bit of this stuff kind of like that when I get home, but that's the worst I've ever seen drawers come out, and usually most of them just stay put. So that works really well. I've got this top rack up here. Obviously you can see that these slots, so you can see that piece of plywood there and this bottom one are slotted. So these dividers can be moved back and forth. There's just like 4 screws or something holding down this little trim piece here. If I pop that out, then I can move these around and I can adjust for, you know, the type of tool that I want to have in there. But as you can see, I mean, I've got all your basic, you know, hand, you know, impact drills. I've got a light charger. I've got finish nailers. I've got staplers. I've got brad nailers. I've got saws. I've got roofing nailer. You know, more saws, planer, Dremel, angle saws, and back here I've got an oscillating tool, some more sanders. I've got a little sawzall back there. So all kind of my basic tools. Up on this top section, I always kind of intended to do something different with this, but it's worked so well the way it is, I've never made any changes to it. So this up here is just another piece of 3/4 inch, and I'm really surprised nothing ever falls off of that shelf. Again, on my rough road. So I've got a 6-foot level. I've got, you know, like, what do I have up here? This is kind of changes all the time. It's pretty messy, but I've got some deck screws. I've got a framing nailer, a drain auger. This is a 1/2 inch drill that I use like for mixing drywall mud, stuff like that. Another skill saw, hand tile saw. That's a this is for laminate or LVP cutting. And up here, as you can see, I've got obviously my my compressor sits down in the corner, tool belt, some clamps, hoses, cords, and then I built this really to make good use of this front section here. I built this triangular shaped shelving unit. It works great. So the way that I'm set up is I've got that blue box is kind of general carpentry type stuff. That is a plumbing box, electrical box, then obviously my sits up there. This 6-foot ladder just happens to fit perfectly in this corner here. And when I threw it in here the first time, I thought for sure it would fall, but just that little bit, it never goes anywhere, stays put. Got some hooks over here. So, I mean, obviously, as you can see, just kind of miscellaneous stuff that you go to. This actually, my 4-foot ladder hangs on there, so I can have that with me. T-square, more plumbing stuff, levels, whatever. So, so that works really good. And then up here, it's kind of miscellaneous drawer, gloves. I mean, you can see what's in there. Here I've got basically air gun fasteners. Here I've got kind of miscellaneous stuff, but it's mostly kind of drill bits, hole saws, you know, as you can see. Getting down here is a bunch of fasteners, mostly screws. That drawer's heavy. That one's pretty empty, but a lot of times that's kind of full of shims. It's kind of this goes on my skill saw, so I can ripping fence. I'll have various saw blades and stuff in there. This bottom one is pretty much all drywall supplies. I've got a little bit of concrete tools in there too. Here's some tile tools, that sort of thing. And then coming over here, this is all pretty much an electrical stack. So as you can see, I've got Romex kind of boxes, and I've got some new lights in there. I didn't know I had those. More boxes, wire nuts, staples, switches, outlets, plates, varying shapes and sizes. So that's random. There's a wire, you know, pull wire. And then up here, this is the tool that I use for doing cabinet hardware. And coming back here, miscellaneous stuff. So most of this stuff is actually for doing laminate or LVP. Some door reinforcements. Obviously, you see knobs or some more hardware in there. What do we got here? Plumbing parts, couplers and bands for PEX, miscellaneous stuff. More plumbing stuff down here, toilet rings, you know, whatever. Stuff to fix sinks and supply lines, and just a bunch of various stuff in there. A lot of times if I don't have something, if I dig, I can find it in this trailer. And back here, so this is kind of a catch-all. As you can see in here, it's got solvent, and there's some hole filler, some putty, and ear protection, and knee protection, and radio, garbage bags. Down here, this, so this, honestly, I don't use this back door very often. Seems like everywhere I'm working, I'm always in cramped little places with small driveways and stuff. So I don't use this very often, but it is kind of slick. So in here, there's a 4-foot level, 2-foot level. We've got fold-out sawhorses in here. And these drawers, I can't remember how long these are. They're like 4 foot. But you can see, actually, that's probably like 5 foot. So I'll get rags and painter's plastic, miscellaneous stuff, underlayment for laminate, paper for protecting floors. So just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. I should show you too. I added, I'm trying to think what this thing had. I don't think it had any lights in it. Maybe it did have a light. Yeah, it had some kind of light in it, but I added these 2 LED lights here. And if I'm in here, if this thing is hooked up to my truck, and I have my truck lights on, I can kick these 2 lights on. They put off a bunch of light, so it lights it up really well in here. And then I also added this guy and this one. These are actually motion sensor. They just run on AAA batteries. And that's just enough that, because most of the time my truck's not hooked up to it. Those little motion lights are just enough that, you know, if I come in here at night, I can see what I'm doing enough to grab a tool and do whatever I need to. So anyway, that's it. Quick tour of the tool trailer. So again, if you do much work on houses on a regular basis and you do the whole, you know, pile stuff in your truck routine like I used to, if you have the opportunity to get a trailer, I highly recommend it. It's really a game changer. It makes life so much easier. You can throw your advertising on the side, which I've done here, and I just always have everything with me. I don't have, I should say, like, there's not really any painting supplies in there. You know, paint trays and sprayer and stuff like that is bulky and takes up a lot of space. And that is you know, it's not something that you might just randomly need. When it's time to paint, it's time to paint, and I know I can just grab that stuff and bring it with me. So I don't have that in there. I'm trying to think what else. There's some other kind of random stuff that I don't use very often that I don't necessarily have in here, but all my normal, regular go-to stuff I have with me at all times, and it's a big time saver. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. Appreciate you watching. If it was helpful to you at all, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're interested in seeing more videos like this one, and we'll see you the next time.